Hey guys, welcome back to the Sports News Analysis YouTube channel. And as I've been doing here the last couple days, really focusing on, the NFL draft and free agency. And more importantly, every night I'm going to take some time to put two videos up, one for the draft and one for free agency, to decipher through the different rumors that have circulated during the day. Look, these publications, these media types have a lot of space to fill. And some of the rumors you hear, I think, have more credence than others. And again, just going to take some time so we can discuss, some of the rumors of the day and give you my opinion of them. And as always, looking forward to hearing your opinions in the comments as always. And, we start the free agency video today with the Philadelphia Eagles and more in particular with Riley Cooper. And if you told me at the beginning of the year that the Eagles would be in a situation where they would be looking to extend Riley Cooper before the combine so no one else got a chance to get their hands on him, I would have told you were nuts, because we all know how Riley Cooper's preseason started. A preseason that started based on things that he did and he did to himself. But he was able to, persevere through that. I don't think that's the right word because, again, he did it to himself. But he was able to be a contributor to the Eagles this season, be their number 2 receiver, and be a solid part of a passing offense that was really prolific. I mean, you look at Nick Foles and the numbers he put up, Riley Cooper was a big part of that. And, I think the Eagles, the rumors of them trying to extend him before the combine, I think really make a lot of sense, because it's really going to determine the game plan they go into the offseason with. Because remember, he's the free agent and so is Jeremy Maclin. So as of right now, the only player they'll have under contract that was a significant contributor for them at receiver is Deshaun Jackson. So if they can get Riley Cooper done before the combine, I think it would be in their best interest. On the defensive side of the ball for the Eagles, you have Jairus Byrd and TJ Ward, the two big safeties available here in free agency. And, do the Eagles make a play at either of these two guys? It may make sense, right? Because they have a little over $20 million in cap space. And to go along with the fact that that's their biggest need, I think pretty clearly on the defensive side of the ball. I would probably err against signing Byrd or Ward, and not because they aren't fantastic players. I think both those guys are two of the top 4 safeties in the NFL. But you're going to get into a situation where these guys are going to get Deshaun Goldson money. 5 years, $40 million, between 20 and about 20 million, between 15 and 20 million guaranteed. Is that an investment you want to make in the safety position? That's taking up almost half of your cap space this year with one contract. I'm not apt to pay a safety that much money when I'm trying to build a young team like the Eagles are. And a lot of these young players in the coming years, they're going to have their payday waiting. Nick Foles comes to mind. Okay, so I think really not overspending on positions you don't have to, probably not the best strategy. You have guys like Chris Clemens or Mike Mitchell on the market, and especially Clemens, who I really like, will come at a little bit of a discount, certainly from a Ward or Byrd, and I think can be close to as productive as those guys. Certainly not as good as those guys, but I think, again, can really contribute and be an asset and certainly an upgrade over what the Eagles had last year. We transitioned from the Eagles to the Giants and Jason Pierre-Paul. After the Giants won the Super Bowl a couple seasons ago, you had a situation where Pierre-Paul was coming off a 16.5 sack season, and you thought a big extension for him, was going to be, an afterthought, something that was definitely going to happen. He signed a $20.5 million extension in 2010, but they're going to let Pierre-Paul, and rightfully so, the Giants, play out his current contract, which ends next year, before they commit any more money to him, because he's been such a disappointment the last 2 seasons, and he's had injury problems. So I agree with the Giants waiting out this year to see if they're going to sign Pierre-Paul to any kind of extension. Remember, they have Justin Tuck that's a free agent that they need to address, and also Matthias Kiwanuka, sort of an anchor on that salary cap, has a $7 million cap number the next 2 years. He's either going to restructure or be a cap casualty, in my mind. Staying in the NFC, and some big news today was that Asante Samuel was cut by the Atlanta Falcons, and not too much of a surprise when you look at his cap number, but he's one of these guys, a veteran corner, that I think there will be a market for. Maybe not right up front in free agency, and maybe not within the first couple days of free agency, but I think as free agency goes on, okay, maybe even a little bit after the draft, teams that need a veteran cornerback as a number two, let's say, that are in a position where they're a team that's a winning team projected to be in the mix next year, and they need that one more piece that they can give a 1 year, $5-6 million deal to. I think that's when you see Samuel, a market develop for him. And you have the usual suspects. The Broncos could use help in the secondary. Certainly the Patriots as well. Those are teams that'll surface. But I'll give you the Carolina Panthers. Now you look at the Panthers, Captain Munnerlyn, a free agent, Mike Mitchell, a free agent. They could have some turnover there in that defensive secondary. Sean McDermott was in Philadelphia when Samuel was in Philadelphia. There could be a possible connection there. Watch out for the Panthers and Asante Samuel. And last but not least here, guys, Brian Orakpo. Brian Orakpo, if you watched my video where I discussed the needs in the draft for the Redskins, I had mentioned the fact that, Orakpo and D'Angelo Hall would probably be the only two free agents, if I'm the Redskins, that I even think of bringing back. And, they are in talks with Orakpo. And Orakpo's 27, was injured last year, still had 10 sacks, though. Has about, I think it was about 39 and a half sacks in 60 career games, I believe, with the Redskins. He's going to demand a big money contract. I don't think there's any doubt about that. I fully expect that to be the case. Even though he's been banged up the last couple of years, he's a guy who can rush the passer. He's good. He's good enough in coverage. He's a good all-around linebacker, and his best attribute is rushing the passer. So if the Redskins, if they can't agree to an extension with him, I fully believe that they're going to franchise him. There's no way they're going to let him hit free agency because the offer that he'll get will probably be too much for the Redskins to match. They'd rather get a long-term deal done so they can save with his cap number than rather franchise him and have him at a huge cap number. But either way, they have the space to make either deal fit, and I fully expect them to get something done with Orakpo and, again, with that franchise tag to fall back on. Guys, let me know what you think of these rumors that came out today regarding free agency or any ones that I might have missed that you want to comment on. Hit me up in the comments. Hit me up on Twitter. If you're new to the channel, guys, be sure to subscribe. Doing tons of NFL draft and free agency stuff all off season. So be sure to subscribe. It's completely free. Have a great night.